I love a good wedding. It's one of the positives that comes with getting older. You see, when you get older, all your friends start getting married. And then you and your friends get to go to a big party that someone else is paying for. It's the best. Now, other than a free meal, I love pretty much everything about weddings. I love getting dressed up. I love going to a beautifully decorated building. I love seeing the happy couple and catching up with old friends and family. I love a free meal, of course, and I love dancing the night away while some cheesy wedding band plays campy pop tunes well into the night. It's great. But I'm not afraid to admit that what I love most about weddings is love. There's nothing like seeing two people confess their love before their community and sometimes before God and commit to be together and stay faithful to each other no matter what. And it can be especially beautiful if it's two people who have been together for ages. Getting to commemorate and celebrate their relationship, it really is a special moment in time. Love is the most wonderful thing. There's a reason why nearly every song is about love. There's a reason why all the best movies have some kind of love angle in it, be it friends to lovers or enemies to lovers. Will they, won't they? They did, and then they didn't, now they do again. It's great. See, as a species, we love love. Now, one of my favorite love stories is found in the Bible. We see it in the Hebrew books of Samuel, where we meet a guy called David, who you may have heard of. He killed a giant and he wrote a bunch of poems. Now, when David killed that giant, he went to work for the king of Israel at the time, a guy named Saul. And Saul had a son named Jonathan, who you probably haven't heard of. But when David first moves to the palace to work for the king, we read these words. After David had finished talking with Saul, he met Jonathan, the king's son. There was an immediate bond between them, for Jonathan loved David. From that day on, Saul kept David with him and would not let him return home. And Jonathan made a solemn pact with David because he loved him as he loved himself. And when Jonathan died, David wrote this poem for him. Oh, how the mighty heroes have fallen in battle. Jonathan lies dead on the hills. How I weep for you, my brother Jonathan. Oh, how much I loved you. And your love for me was deep, deeper than the love of women. Oh, how the mighty heroes have fallen. Stripped of their weapons, they lie dead. So to put it mildly, they had a special relationship. And of course, there are some scholars and historians who would say that David and Jonathan were just really good friends. And there are others who would say that David and Jonathan were lovers. And I know which option I prefer, but whatever the interpretation, it's clear that David and Jonathan loved each other dearly. And they were not afraid to express that love, no matter the cost. See, their love for each other was deeper than David's ambition for the throne, and it was deeper than Jonathan's loyalty to his father, the king. They lived their love loud enough for it to be remembered thousands of years later. In 2015, the people of Ireland spoke loud and clear. We declared as a nation that love is love. People, regardless of their gender or sexuality, have the right to marry the person that they love, which is great news for me because it means more weddings to go to. But it really was an amazing thing to be a part of, because for years in this country, the idea of two men marrying or two women marrying was unthinkable. And worse than that, it was illegal for people of the same gender to be together. It was almost an everyday occurrence for LGBTQIA plus people to experience verbal and physical abuse, and it wasn't unheard of to hear homophobic slurs coming from the mouths of children. Now, thankfully, our society is starting to mature slowly. But the grim spectre of hate still haunts our land, and we can only pray that once and for all, every person in this country buries the ignorant homophobia of our past. Because whoever it is that you love, I believe that God blesses that love. I believe that God is the one who gives us our passions and our desires. So whoever it is that you love, don't be ashamed of it and never feel like it's something that you have to run from. As Christians, we believe that the Bible is a story of love, and that Jesus came to earth on a mission of love. We believe that God is love, that it's their very essence. And we know that the primary attribute of a Christian should be love. And love is something that should never be hidden or unsaid. You see, love is the most precious gift that God ever gave to us, be it platonic, romantic, or whatever. And so a challenge that I've set myself is to let the people in my life know that I love them. Not just assume that they know, because life is unpredictable and we never know when the last time is the last time. So, let's follow the example of David and Jonathan and live our love loud and proud.